My name's Jeff Young, and we're at Tree Brewery, and this is Tales from the Mash. So today I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to name this story Wyoming Sun. But this story is about the nugget rib cook-off experience I had in about circa 2001. And this story starts out because my beautiful first daughter was born, probably about a week or 2 weeks before the nugget rib cook-off. And so Mom and Dad and baby had been cooped up for a couple of weeks, and we decided this is going to be our first outing with the kid. And you know, it's the first time we use our big stroller, and we've got the car seat and the whole deal, and we load everything up and we head to the nugget rib cook-off. And we get there, and it is, I don't know if you've been to the rib cook-off, but it's a pretty big event. And they have this big crafts section, and we go through and we did all the family stuff, checked out the crafts, pushed the baby around in the stroller. All that is going on. Hang on. Oh! Brewing and telling stories. Gotta love it. Checking out the crafts section, blah, blah, blah. Baby starts getting fussy. So Mom is like, hey, this baby needs to eat. We gotta find little place on the side and feed this baby. So we look for a little spot. We find a shady spot over in the grass, like a picnic table. Nobody's sitting there. It's perfect. We roll up, push the stroller up. Mom is nursing, so she's sitting at the picnic table, you know, got the baby. I'm kind of standing guard, talking to her. And I look up, I see this guy just beelining it right to me, like he's known me forever. And I sort of step in between him and my wife and daughter, and I'm like, hey man, what's up? He's like, hi. He just walks up and whips a flask out, and he's like, you wanna nip off this? I'm like, no man, I think I'm good. And and to my surprise, he asked my nursing wife if she would like a nip off this flask. She's like, no thanks. And it's a little awkward because she's nursing, she's got her boob out and everything, and this dude is just like, hey, I wanna head off this flask. And then he doesn't even take a hint, doesn't even read the situation. He's like, oh, what a beautiful baby, just all getting down in there. I'm like, hey dude, her immune system's not all exactly up to par yet, bro. She's a newborn. Why don't you back off? So I'm like, hey, dude, so what's up? And he's just like, oh, nothing, man. I just love the rib cook-off, blah, blah, blah. And he's drinking. And he starts talking about it. He's like, man, last time I was here, Chris Ledoux played. And that was just such a great show. And I was like, hey, I saw that show. I was there for that nugget. Best of the West nugget rib cook-off. And he was like, really? That's my brother-in-law. And I was like, Chris Ledoux's your brother-in-law? He's like, yeah. And he's talking about him a little bit, telling me some story. Oh, what a nice guy he is and all this shit. And then out of nowhere, he's like, yeah, you know, like I write songs for him sometimes, and he hasn't ever recorded one, but I got one right now that he really likes, and I think he's going to record it. And I was like, really? That's awesome, dude, you know, just whatever. And he's like, hey, man, you want to hear that song? And I was like, do I ever, buddy? Let's hear it. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it right here in front of everybody. So this motherfucker invites me around the corner to sing me his song. And at first, my first thought was like, this dude's gonna rob me. As soon as I get around the corner, it's gonna be like, give me your wallet or some shit. And but I'm like, how do I turn this down? I gotta hear this guy's fucking song. So I tell Jessica, my lovely wife, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna step around the corner with this guy and he's gonna sing me his song. And she gives me a look like, are you stupid? And I was like, no. And then I think I remember grabbing my wallet and like handing it to her. I'm like, you can't get anything, right? So I go around the corner and the dude, he's like telling me a little bit about the song. He's like, so I really love Wyoming. I'm from Wyoming. And he's like, I want to sing songs about Wyoming like John Denver sings about Colorado. And so he's like, so this song's about Wyoming. It's named Wyoming Sun. And I would love to be able to sing you that fucking song right now, but Jesus Christ, I'd never remember those words. And all I could say is that I was surprised at how good of a singer he was, like legit good singer. Surprised how loud he sang, like out in front of everybody. And the only part I remember of the whole song was it's like Wyoming sun, Wyoming sun. That's it. That's all I remember. He didn't rob me. He just sang his heart out to me. I've always looked for that song on the radio. I've Google searched it, YouTubed it. Never fucking happened. I don't know why. It was a beautiful song. Anyways, I'm Jeff Young. This has been Tales from the Mash. I guess what the moral of the story is that maybe sometimes you gotta take a chance and go around the corner with a guy. You might get robbed, or he might sing your heart out to you. What? Yeah, I went to a Chris Ledoux concert. I think I was a wingman for my buddy. Hey, shout out to Phil Morelli. Hope you sealed the deal that night, buddy.